Engineer775 here with the ARK batteries that you've seen in my videos, and we actually had one battery, this one, that we put on an install and we turned it on and it never came on. We never saw anything. There was no voltage. It was very strange. First battery we've had ever do that to us. We also hooked it up with two other 48 volt batteries and turned them on, so this was connected. So I thought maybe that would excite this one to start and do something, but there's absolutely nothing happening with this battery. So I had asked the manufacturer if I could have a BMS or two, that's the battery management system for this battery, and a couple extra, whatever could fail in an EMP, electromagnetic pulse event. And so he sent me what he thought would fail inside this battery. And so what I'm going to do is replace it. And because this battery does come as a field serviceable battery, if you look in the manual, that you can replace the BMS. So you can purchase the BMS and replace it. I just haven't done it, and that's what I'm going to do in this video to show you that it can be done. If it can be done. If it can't be done, you won't see this video. Just kidding. So I'm going to basically start taking this cover apart and see what's going on in there, do some checks, and then possibly talk to the manufacturer if I run into things that I am getting dangerous with. So anyway, so the goal is to replace the BMS in an ARK lithium. This is a 48 volt, 5 kilowatt battery. These have been really awesome. And again, the reason I like these, they have their own breaker. They have a screen that tells you what's going on. They got a positive negative terminal on the bottom, and they have positive negative terminals on the bottom and on the top. And it also comes with this offset stand that we use just to set on the floor. So it's a very versatile battery. It's got heavy duty handles on top and on the sides, so you can handle it. About 130 pounds, I believe. And just a great product so far. Pretty soon it'll be closed loop communicating with the inverters that we're installing. But until then, we just put them in. We haven't had any issues. We just set the specs, charging and discharging according to the manufacturer's specifications. Let's see what's inside this. Okay, we've removed the cover from the ARK battery and we started measuring some voltages across B and P here. We had like 6 volts, so the battery wouldn't come on. So what I ended up doing is just using, it's always nice to have one of these just really small. This is like 360 watt lithium battery charger. So I'm just gonna let it charge and see if that is the problem. Don't know why it would be so discharged. So still not out of the woods yet. Most likely we're still gonna replace the BMS, but I just wanted to see if I could bring the battery back to life before we bring it to the field. Or it's just one that goes in my power shed for playing and experimentation. Okay, so on the ARK lithium battery, we just to rule out the BMS being the problem, we actually put this little lithium charger that I've used for Fortress batteries for all my lithium batteries. Just a little 360 watt lithium battery charger that raises the voltage high enough to kind of excite the BMS. So, but that didn't do it. Charged for 12 hours and nothing happened. So, and I actually just tested the cells, the positive terminal here, negative terminal here. We're at 53.6 volts, so the battery is good. It's the BMS is the suspect, but thought I'd give it a try with the charger, see if it woke up the BMS. So we took the positive terminals off and taped them up just for safety, and then we're going to remove this BMS, replace it with the new BMS, and then we're going to kind of excite the BMS by just jumping with a wire from B minus to P minus, and that should be it. We also have another board that we can replace. I'm not exactly sure what that board is and what that does. Maybe a cell balancer of some sort. I'm not exactly sure, but we're just going to replace this one connector. We're going to take that off, and then there's one wire, and I'm not sure what that is off the BMS. But we are going to butt splice that in here. It looks like that's where it gets spliced. It's I've got a joint here and a butt splice. So we're just going to do that, and that's it, and see if we can get this battery back up and going. All right, so in replacing the BMS, the BMS comes with new screws on the B minus and P positive, and all you need to do is butt splice in this wire. So I'm assuming this is picking up power off of the positive terminal on the battery. And then we're going to make a little jumper, which we have. Once we hook these back up, we're going to jump across the P minus and B minus. I don't know why they don't call P positive, but that's just the way it is. All right, so here we go. So we swapped out the BMS, and then we made a jumper, just a jump between B minus and P minus to wake it up. So let's see. The connector's back in. Got our butt splice done here. Gonna turn it on. If I hear a beep, we got her. Oh, I heard a beep. Oh, and a screen. Look at that. Just like it comes from the factory, 50%. Just perfect. So the BMS was bad in this battery, seems like. So that's all we did was change out the BMS. I would say from the time it takes to take the side cover off, remove these and tape them up, remove that terminal, do a butt splice on this line. It comes with new screws, put new screws in, and excite it across the B minus, P minus. I don't know if that's the right word of exciting the BMS, but waking it up or activating it, as some inverters do to the BMSs. Then turn it on, test voltage, and I would say 20 minutes was what it would take to change out the ARK battery BMS. That's pretty cool. And so these are field serviceable, and it's a solution if you want to take and buy an ARK battery system and you want to put extra BMSs in a Faraday cage. If there was an event, you could pop it out, or just to have backups for whatever reason. I think they're expensive though. Well, I remember, it's been a while. I think they're like $350 per BMS. But on a $2,800, almost $3,000 battery, 10% of that for a backup BMS would get you through. So we're always looking for, we love the performance of this battery. It's so much better than a lead acid battery. Not even in the same planet. So the weakness, of course, is the electronics. The cells never go bad. The cells are inherently hardened. It is the electronics attached. So I think we're good. I mean, even if the screen failed, because you've got, the screen could fail. It's got a little printed circuit board on it. You don't need that. You just use your voltmeter and make sure your terminals are reading the voltage. Hook it back up to your inverter. You're good to go. All right, this is Engineer 775. Reporting from the bench in the shop, and I'm glad that I don't have to send the battery back. So shipping is such a nightmare today. You don't want to have to ship these things back. So it's best just to do that, and it took a whopping 20 minutes to do. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. These batteries are great. I work with the manufacturer kind of on a weekly basis. We talk a lot, and great guy, James Mast, and just really appreciate him being able to supply us batteries. All right, talk to you soon.